What it is.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
What it do.
What it be?
It is what it is.
Hello, and welcome to Stoner Cricket Review, where we review movies for stoners, ents, and alike. I'm Stoner Cricket.
And I'm Major Redbeard. Today's installment, we review Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol.
Welcome again to Stoner Cricket Review. I'm your host, Stoner Cricket, and this is my co-host,
Major Redbeard.
This is a program where we review movies on the big screen to let you know if it is worth the use of your cookies, brownie, or tokes off your pipe.
It's off the vaporizer. Tincture.
Vaporizer.
That's another story. So, Mission Impossible: Ghost Protocol. This is not just another mission. The IMF is shut down when it's implicated in a global terrorist bombing plot. Ghost Protocol is initiated, and Ethan Hunt and his rogue new team must go undercover to clear their organization's name. No help, no contact, off the grid. You have never seen a mission grittier and more intense than this. And this is the plot summary from Paramount Pictures.
This was the fourth installment of this movie series. I had seen the first one back in 1996, but I didn't see Mission Impossible 2 or 3. Had you seen any before, Major Redbeard?
Major Redbeard remembers seeing the first one back in 96 and probably saw the other ones, but doesn't remember a lot about them. Mm-hmm. But at any rate, Major Redbeard thinks that you can see the fourth one without necessarily having seen the first three. They don't necessarily build on each other. I mean, there is kind of a history of, the organization and whatever. There are these characters that go on throughout the four movies, but they're not like interlocking, man,
Right. Exactly. So, the director of this movie was Brad Bird, who I remember from The Simpsons, because I'm a big The Simpsons fan. And the second movie was by John Woo, and I didn't see that one. And then the third movie was by J.J. Abrams, who I know from Star Trek. And he also did Super 8.
Right.
Which was a cool movie. J.J. Abrams also produced this movie, was one of the producers. We used the Reddit int scale to represent how stoned we were during the viewing. On a scale from 1 to 10, I say I was about a 5. What were you, Major Redbeard?
Major Redbeard was at a 6.
6. Well, that sounds good. Like I've said before, my preferred method is to eat a brownie or some kind of edible. Usually, I eat this before the show, before I even get there. And by the time the show is starting, it should be taking effect. I think that works pretty well.
Major Redbeard agrees.
Awesome. So, we came up with a rating system of up to 7 thumbs up for how much the movie is worth seeing baked. Is it worth the use of your trees? We don't want your trees to go to waste.
No, we don't.
No. And want that, your experience to go well. The 7 thumbs up is determined by 3 categories: special effects, plot, and sound. What did you think of the sound or the audio?
Well, right away, from the theme song, you hear that classic dun 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 dun, and that always sticks in my mind. Even from the TV series.
Definitely. I was humming it as I was walking out of the theater. I liked the audio. It was not distracting, but I have to say some of the sound effects were kind of cheesy, but they weren't too distracting from the film. Tell
me, Stoner Cricket, how did you find the spy technology in this movie?
I thought it was very fun. I particularly liked the scene with the screen they used to shield themselves or cloak themselves down a hallway. It was kind of neat.
Yeah, I'd never really seen anything like that in a movie before. It was pretty neat.
What else did you like about the effects?
Well, I especially liked the scene where Ethan Hunt was outside climbing up that tallest building in the world in Dubai with those anti-gravity gloves.
Definitely.
Very suspenseful. And if you're afraid of heights or high up on the ant scale, then you might want to close your eyes during that part.
It was definitely suspenseful and definitely brought out my fear of heights watching it. My view was that as the movie progressed, the quality seemed to go down. They were really good in the beginning, but towards the end there was a scene of a rocket, and it was like, it looked pretty fake to me. It didn't seem to be of the quality of the effects that were in the beginning of the movie. But overall, it was good.
Maybe they ran out on the budget.
Maybe they did.
By the end of the movie, they were making these crappy effects. I mean, I don't know. Anything's possible.
It's definitely possible.
So what did you think about the plot?
I thought it was good. There were no real slow parts or down moments, but I didn't feel it was going too fast either.
I agree. It wasn't too fast, and there were slow parts interspersed through the fast action scenes, and it gave your mind, time to rest, but it wasn't too fast or too slow. It was a good balance. Mm-hmm. Now, there were some holes in the plot, didn't you?
Yeah.
Didn't you think?
Yeah, there were a few plot holes. I didn't find them too distracting. I easily forgot about them. Yeah, I didn't find Tom Cruise that annoying in this movie.
By the way.
Some movies I just can't stand him. But this movie, he was very tolerable. The only thing I thought was confusing about the movie was the very end, where there's a girl that shows up, and I'm like, I have no idea who the hell she is. But most of the movie was over anyway, so it didn't really matter. I gave this movie 5 thumbs out of 7.
Major Redbeard gives it 6 out of 7.
That's an average of 5.5 thumbs out of 7. That's still a pretty good rating for a movie. I think the fellow ants will enjoy it.
Major Redbeard agrees and encourages everyone to go see it.
Thanks for listening to this installment of Stoner Cricket Review. Please leave a comment or your thoughts on the movie. I'm Stoner Cricket.
I'm Major Redbeard. Please return to listen to upcoming reviews. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.